You think your cat loves you. You're wrong. Right now, while you're reading this, the small furry creature curled up on your couch is running a quiet operation. You are not its owner. You are its asset. And the way it looks at you when you walk into a room, that slow, sleepy stare, scientists at Cambridge have finally cracked what's actually happening behind those eyes. And it rewrites everything you thought you knew about the animal sleeping at the foot of your bed. Because here's what nobody told you. Your cat doesn't see you as human, not in the way you imagine. Not as a person, not as a friend, not even as a fellow living creature in the traditional sense. The latest research in cat psychology has unearthed something almost unsettling, and once you understand it, you'll never look at your cat the same way again. The slow blink across the room, the midnight zoomies at 3 Emma Kenneth Phipps, a number twain. The way it meows the second you open the fridge, every single one of these is a calculated move in a game your cat has been playing with you since the day you brought it home. And the wildest part? It's been winning for about 10,000 years. Let's rewind. Around 10,000 years ago, somewhere in the Near East, a wild creature called Felis sylvestris libica made a quiet decision that changed history. Humans had just started farming. Farming meant grain. Grain attracted rodents. And rodents attracted a small, sharp-toothed predator that realized something genius. Why hunt all night in the cold when you can hunt in a warm village full of clueless bipeds who'll basically thank you for it? This is the part most people get wrong about understanding cats. Dogs were domesticated by humans. We chose them, rebred them for jobs, herding, guarding, hunting alongside us. But cats? Cats domesticated themselves. They walked into our world on their own terms, signed no contract, agreed to no rules, and somehow convinced us to build the entire pet food industry around them. Scientists call this commensal domestication. I call it the greatest con job in animal history. And it gets stranger. Because while dogs evolved to see humans as pack leaders, cats developed something completely different. Researcher John Bradshaw at the University of Bristol spent years studying this exact question. How do cats actually see humans? And his findings flipped the entire field of cat psychology and behavior on its head. You've probably heard the popular theory, the one floating around the internet that says cats see us as big, clumsy cats. Awkward giants who knock things over, can't groom themselves properly, and somehow manage to bring home tuna every week. It's a charming idea. It's also not quite right. The truth is weirder. Bradshaw's research suggests cats don't categorize us as cats at all. They don't see us as fellow felines. They don't see us as predators. And they don't see us as prey. They've created an entirely new mental category just for humans. A category that doesn't exist anywhere else in their world. So what are we, then? I'll tell you in a minute. But for 99, understand something about cat communication. Because this is where it gets really interesting. Watch your cat next time it's around another cat. Two adult cats meeting on a fence. Notice anything missing? They don't meow at each other. Not really. They hiss, they yowl, they chirp, they trill. But that classic meow sound? That little vocal greeting that pulls at your heartstrings? Adult cats almost never use it on each other. That meow is for you. Cats developed meowing as an evolutionary adaptation specifically to communicate with humans. Kittens meow at their mothers when they're young. Then they grow up and stop. Except for one situation, when they live with us. They figured out, somewhere along the way, that humans respond to vocal cries. So they kept the kitten voice. Forever. Just for our benefit. And there's a level above this that's almost evil in its cleverness. Researcher Karen McComb at the University of Sussex discovered something called the solicitation purr. This is a special purr cats use when they want something, usually food. And when you analyze its sound waves, it contains a hidden frequency embedded inside the normal rumble, a high-pitched component that sits at almost the exact same frequency as a human baby's cry. Let that sink in. Your cat has, over thousands of years, evolved a purr that mimics the sound of a crying infant, because that sound is biologically impossible for the human brain to ignore. It bypasses logic, hits the nurturing reflex, and makes you stand up and walk to the food bowl before you've even thought about it. Most people never figure this out. They go their whole lives thinking their cat just loves them so much it purrs. Meanwhile, the cat has essentially hacked the human nervous system. Now, stay with me because the script is about to flip in a way you won't expect. We're going to talk about the cat, slow blink, and then everything you believe about cat behavior explained on the internet is going to fall apart. The slow blink. You've seen it. Your cat across the room, eyes half closed, slowly shutting them. slowly opening them like it's drifting off in slow motion. People love to say this means "I love you" in cat. Cute, right? Well, it's more layered than that. The slow blink is a visual signal of trust and non-aggression in cats. Studies have shown that when humans slow blink back at cats, the cats become significantly more likely to approach them, interact with them, even prefer them over humans who don't. But here's the part nobody talks about. The slow blink is not love. Not exactly. It's something arguably deeper. It's an agreement, a truce, a signal that says, "I am not currently planning to harm you, and I do not believe you are planning to harm me." For a creature whose ancestors lived and died based on predator awareness, lowering your eyelids in front of another being is one of the most vulnerable things you can do. Your cat is telling you, in its own ancient language, that you have passed the test. You are safe. You are trusted. And that's where the story takes a turn most viewers won't see coming. Because for years, the dominant narrative around cats has been that they're aloof, cold, independent, that they merely tolerate humans for food. That if you disappeared tomorrow, your cat would forget you by Tuesday and find a new sucker by the weekend. This is the part of the script where I tell you that science has now proven all of that. Completely wrong. In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University ran an experiment based on something called the Ainsworth Strange Situation Procedure. It's the same psychological test used for decades to measure attachment in human infants. They placed cats in a room with their owner, then had the owner leave, then returned. They watched what happened. The results were stunning. About 64% of the cats showed what researchers call secure attachment. When the owner left, the cats were stressed. When the owner came back, the cats calmed down, sought them out, and reconnected. That number, 64%, is statistically the same as the secure attachment rate in dogs, and almost identical to the secure attachment rate in human babies. Read that again. Your cat, the creature you assume is plotting your downfall, forms emotional bonds with you on the same level as a human infant forms with its mother, and it gets more layered. Cats can read your facial expressions. They watch you to figure out how to react to new situations. If a strange object enters the room and you look at it calmly, your cat is more likely to investigate. If you look afraid, your cat will avoid it. There's social referencing, quietly studying your face for emotional cues, like a freshman at UC Berkeley watching the professor's eyes to figure out if the next question is going to be on the exam. They understand human pointing. They recognize their own name. They monitor your tone of voice. They notice when you're sick. There are documented cases of cats curling up against tumors before doctors found them. They feel your stress through your heart rate, your scent, your breathing patterns. And when you sleep, watch them. Many cats position themselves at slightly elevated points in the room. The foot of the bed, a windowsill, the back of the couch. Not because they're lazy, because they're on watch. You're the most vulnerable member of their tiny social group when you sleep, and they take that seriously, in their own way. Now here's where intellectual honesty matters, because cat psychology isn't fully settled science. Some researchers believe cats experience genuine grief when their humans disappear. Appetite loss, vocal searching, withdrawal lasting weeks. Other scientists are more cautious. They argue we can't yet prove cats experience grief the way humans do. They may just be reacting to a disruption in routine and scent. The truth is, we're still in the early days of understanding cats. The honest answer is, we don't fully know. But the evidence increasingly suggests something real is going on in there, something we used to dismiss too quickly. And then there's the bunting, the head bump, the classic move where your cat smashes its forehead into your chin or rubs its cheek along your leg. For years, people assumed this was just marking territory, like the cat was claiming ownership. It's deeper than that. Cats have scent glands in their cheeks, forehead, and flanks. When they rub on you, they're depositing pheromones, chemical signatures that mix your scent with theirs to create what's called a group scent, a communal smell that marks you as part of their inner circle, their family, their colony of one or two. So when your cat headbutts you on a Tuesday morning while you're trying to make coffee, it's not asking for breakfast. It's updating the family scent. It's saying, "You smell like an outsider. Let me fix that. There. Now you smell like mine again." So let's bring this full circle. Your cat doesn't see you as human. That part is true. It also doesn't see you as a big cat, a servant, or a vending machine. It sees you as something it has no other word for. A strange, towering, warm-blooded, food-bringing, blanket-providing, occasionally annoying member of a two-creature family unit that exists nowhere else in the natural world. That's not nothing. That's everything. The signs your cat loves you have been there the whole time. You just didn't have the translation key. The slow blink across the room, the tail curled into a question mark when you walk through the door, the decision to sleep with its back facing you, an enormous gesture of trust in a predator species, the little chirp it makes when it sees you, the way it follows you to the bathroom for no reason at all, the soft headbutt at 3 in the afternoon, the slow, deliberate kneading on your stomach while you scroll through Netflix. None of it is accidental. All of it is communication. And once you understand it, your relationship with your cat changes forever. Here's how cats see humans. In the end, not as gods, not as servants, not as fellow cats. They see us as the one strange creature in the world they chose to let in, not because we earned it, not because we trained them, but because 10,000 years ago, a small wild predator looked at our messy little villages and decided we were worth keeping around. Your cat loves you. Fiercely, quietly, completely, just never the way you wanted it to. Always on its own terms. And honestly, that might be the most honest love anyone has ever offered you.